This time of the year, it's not uncommon for doctors' offices, clinics, and even hospitals to be experiencing a significant increase in patients. Now, whether it's cold and flu season or slips and falls, they all contribute to an already taxed healthcare system. Flu cases across the province are spiking, and that crunch, it's felt at almost every healthcare center, and that includes the region's largest hospital. So joining us now from the Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre is Leanne Weeks, Chief Nursing Executive and VP of Clinical. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I understand you are born in Barrie, but now you've returned to the home base.
Born in Barrie. I didn't leave long, but it was exciting to be able to come back and work at RVH, well, especially in this role.
And you have an exciting story of where it all began for you in RVH for your children.
Yes, I actually had a couple of big milestone events that RVH was there for me for. One of them was when I had my twins a number of years ago. One of them was admitted to the NICU before I worked at RVH. And the second big moment for me was when a very close family member had a stroke. And RVH was there when I needed them. So it's a privilege to be in this role so I can do my very best to make sure we're there when you need us.
How incredibly meaningful. We were talking a little bit earlier in the newscast about the spike in flu cases this time of the year. Is that being reflected at the hospital?
Yes, for sure. Typically, we plan all year long for what we call respiratory season and expect these increases in patient volumes. Typically, we see that just shortly after the holidays into January. We are seeing an early spike currently happening with lots of different like COVID, flu, and general respiratory illness.
So just a couple of weeks ago, RVH reported high patient volumes in the emergency department, some people waiting up to 7.5 hours. What caused that?
So there's lots of reasons that patients may have to wait in our emergency department. Operationally, we function at about 145% of the original capacity, so it's really challenging even to move the volume of patients that we see every day through the department. Another reason could be acuity. So, we are a regional health center and we do support a number of different regional programs, not just for Barrie proper, but the surrounding area. So many times our teams are dealing with really critically ill patients, meaning, the good news is we're there when you need us, but that does mean sometimes lower acuity patients, a little bit less unwell, have to wait a bit longer for us. And then I'd say the other reason patients wait is we do experience some gridlock. Our inpatient units become really pressurized and it delays transition up to your inpatient bed.
Leanne, I think you said it perfectly. You're seeing people at their worst, and then you combine these wait times. How does that affect your staff? That must be tricky.
It is tricky because, we really take patient care and the experience you have whether it's in the emergency department or any time you interact with RVH, very seriously. And the culture I'm proud of at RVH is, one of kindness and respect to our public. And so it does challenge our frontline staff. The space itself becomes really hard to work in at times when we're pressurized like this. So I think, I just reflect back on, what do we expect from each other as a community? So just to show up and do your best every day. I always encourage Team RVH to do their best work.
Finally, what alternatives are there in the region that you might recommend people take a look at if they're feeling unwell?
So there's lots of different options. Of course, if you are ever questioning whether you should come or not, the emergency department is 24/7, so always come, hands down. We're ready to provide awesome care to you. Other options, if you're wondering, do I really need to go to an emergency department, are, of course, your primary care providers. There's pharmacists now that can provide additional support and services, virtual care options. We have our ED minor patient pathway. And so you can go online, book there, and if you're able to meet that criteria, you'll get an arrival time, which really decreases the amount of time you have to wait in that department. Those are just a few options. More on our website.
Leanne, it's fabulous to finally meet you in person. Thanks for coming into the studio, and happy holidays to you and your loved ones.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've been speaking with the VP of Clinical and Chief Nursing Executive at RVH, Leanne Weeks. Great job.